Audio check 1 2 1 2. Audio testing. Can you hear me all right? Everything working well? Yep, audio's good. Amazing. All right, amazing. Audio's perfect. Everything's good. Let's just get right into it. Again, this week I am packed with projects. I have a lot of video ideas that I have to plan and organize and script and kind of organize the ideas. One of the things is I can't stop talking about God. I just keep talking about God. That's that's all I want to do, honestly. But at the same time, on online, I suppose it doesn't work as well because it's a very deep topic, and most people don't come online for deepness, I suppose. Or maybe it's just the algorithm that hasn't, or I don't know, maybe it's just the algorithm that's not finding the audience. But again, Khalsa Mindset, Chardikala, the whole brand, everything is all about helping you become your best self. And becoming your best self, at the root of it, at the deepest core, is God. Because God's gonna make you great. That's how you become great. But anyways, besides that, there's so many things that go into it. There's high performance, and how do you do high performance? How do you become an individual that is extremely high performing? Trading definitely requires that, you know, and that's how I've kind of come into this world of peak performance, because as a trader and as a retail trader, maybe in the institutions, if you're working in a bank or an institutional trader, you might have a base salary and you might be, sorted there, and then whatever little bit of commission you're going to get on top of your trading performance, if you are that. But as a retail, it's pure performance. It's no different from being in the wild and hunting for your food. You must hunt for your food. And so it becomes a pure performance game. You have to perform at the highest levels to make your money. And it just never ends. You might start with $1, and then you might make 10, and then you might start risking $50 and start risking $100. You might start risking 200, and then go up to 300, 500. You might be getting to a point where you're risking $1,000 a trade, and then you keep leveling up, and then you go to like $2,000 a trade. You go to 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. And then before you know it, you're doing like $20,000, $30,000 a trade, $50,000 a trade. And now you're in no longer a really, you're still kind of small as a trader when you're risking 50K per trade, but you're not really that small anymore. You're kind of reaching some higher echelons in the trading world, especially as a retail trader. And yeah, I want to teach you how to trade as well. I want to teach you how to do business, how to build your personal brands. I want to do all this stuff. And it's a little overwhelming at times. I have been overwhelmed the past 2 days. And the results can be underwhelming because, the common consensus is you need a niche and you need to specify and you need to just target that audience so that the algorithm understands who your audience is, and they can just send your content to that audience. Whereas my content's getting about 500 to 1,000 views per video. And honestly, I don't really care too much for the views as much as I do with the engagement and actually generating traffic into Khalsa Mindset, into these different products I have, and into the things that I want to engage with. I love engaging, helping, talking, coaching. That's what I love. And that's why I started this whole thing. And maybe that's why I felt a little underwhelmed or a little bit, disheartened. I wouldn't say disheartened. I'm not disheartened, but a little underwhelmed by the response, I would say. And some people might think 1,000 is a lot of views. Yes, I'm grateful for it, but it's not really hitting the mark for my expectations and my standards. And so that is what's going on. Anyways, besides all the back end shenanigans and my personal theories and stuff, I continue to consistently come on here every single day. Yesterday, I did not even check the markets. I did not trade whatsoever. And so I did not stream. But it has been my intention before I even started this whole streaming process that I will be doing this until I die. And so you're going to see my trading grow. You're going to watch everything. Again, the views aren't too many on the streams as well. Maybe it's my thumbnail. Maybe I change that. I don't know. Probably change it to something else. And I know a lot of people have interest in trading and they have not a clue what to do. So I've been having the idea to start making some shorts and reels around trading. Maybe every trade I take and then I make some kind of a short out of it. But I kid you not, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I work all day, every day. It is a lot of work. And it is a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And yeah, I have to, before I get into trading, I have to review my trading from the past few weeks, the mistakes I've made. I have to do all of that. Because that's the real juice of trading, actually. It's not executing. The executing process is like a 2-minute, 3-minute thing. It's just clicking some buttons, calculating your risk. That's all it is. But actually trading is the back end stuff, like how I'm planning for the video, how I'm preparing for the video, how I'm thinking about hooking the audience and keeping you engaged throughout the entirety of the video. It's the same process, and that's why it's so easy for me to do all these other things, because I'm just that guy. I have that process locked in. It's a mindset thing. It's got nothing else to do with anything else. It's just mindset. It's all mindset. And that's why Khalsa Mindset has been born, and it is the main theme of the channel. But then again, I have to figure it out. And so once I upload the video, I just got to make the video, make my analysis just like I do with the trades, and then let it go, and then let it go. And then the market will give me the response. All right. So today, let's just get into it. I will be doing less of a trading approach where I'm seeking out trades and more of a kind of, what's the word for it? A reviewing process, refining process, iteration process. I might use some ChatGPT. Probably can't use ChatGPT because I don't have the VPN on, and I need VPN to use ChatGPT. But that's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna do some reviewing, make sure that my trading is aligned, and I have the correct processes in place. All right, so let's just get right into it. Get into the screen. This is a trade I'm still holding, Aussie CAD. We were long last week. We've been holding this since the 23rd of September. I've been holding this, and today is the 7th of September. So it's been over a week, almost 2 weeks into this trade. We're almost at take profit levels, which is really good. Simple, easy trade at the demand here on the daily, high level demand, and then we're just running up. You know what? I think this could go higher, but I'll stick with my current targets. This probably can go higher. The bummer with this one is the bigger account that I have, the one with more leverage in it, has been stopped out. I've been stopped out of this trade. So that account is in pure drawdown, which I have to recover from. And I don't have too much left. I have about 5K margin because of this. And I have to play with that, which which doesn't put me in a position of being able to risk more. Rather, I have to be balanced with my risk taking and risk a little bit conservatively, at least in the beginning. Because if I risk higher, then I just risk the chance of losing the account basically. So I cannot really do that. I don't want to do that. And so I probably drop my risk on that account. Maverick, the other account is going well. The one I still have this trade on that didn't stop me out, which is good. I don't trail my stops, and the reason is literally this. If you see this here, the weekend gap, and then I would have been stopped out easily, and it's just frustrating to be stopped out of a winning trade when the trend is so strong. I'd rather just be in these trades. And the only reason I can hold these kind of trades for so long is, again, just kind of experience. I've seen this over and over again. I have the patience for it. I have the discipline and the unattachmentness to not care. Uh, and the reason most people fail is they just care about the money too much. And so they can't see the fluctuations up and down. For me, I don't care. I just care about the process, which makes holding trades like this a lot easier. I'm in almost I'm above 4R. I'm basically 4.35R into profit, which is big considering most traders always take their profits at maybe 1R, 0.5R. And so this is, to the common, normal retail trader, a huge trade. But then again, I try to aim for higher target margins, 5R, 7R, 10R. That's the kind of home runs I look for. And so right now, what the intention is to reduce the losing trades, which is what happened last week when I just over leveraged on Aussie too much. And that was a mistake that cost me more dearly than I wanted to. And so the process just becomes not repeat the same mistake. And so right now, I work on, I guess, entries. Entries is key here because entries is where I'm taking the losses. The losing trades are immediately going into loss most of the times. So that means I'm instantly wrong on those trades, which is a consistent pattern. And when there's a consistent pattern, as long as you do something consistently, you can come to a conclusion, come to a pattern, and then you can iterate. It becomes easier. But if you keep doing different things all the time, you have no clue where your leaks are and where the losses are coming from. And this applies to everything in life. So take it as you will. And that's why I think trading is just such a beautiful sport, because it forces you to become your greatest version. Because if you are not, you're dead. You're completely dead in these markets. Anyways, let's look at what we had from last week before we get into reviewing everything. CAD franc continues to slide lower. There's just no strength in CAD whatsoever. We just keep, but franc itself is also weak at the moment, so it's just segueing lower. It's not really landsliding down, so it's something completely uninterested. I won't be surprised if this has a major V-shaped recovery pullback and CAD and franc just completely flip-flops its relative strength and weakness. That might happen. If that does happen, I would like to get in on the sells, but then if it's a V-shaped recovery, which this does not look like, I cannot get short on this. I have stopped getting into trend trades on a V-shaped market. It's so highly risky. All right, New Zealand franc. Again, nothing much. We are inside this supply zone. We've broken out on the daily, and now we're kind of retesting this. I wonder if this continues lower. Overall, S&P is in quite the risk-on situation, so I don't want to play risk-off. Selling NZD would be a risk-off play, which does not look anything like what the market's presenting. This market is extremely bullish, extremely risk-on, which means Aussie and NZD are in play. You want to be buying those I'm not selling them by any means. What's the SPX up to? Yeah, SPX just keeps grinding higher. I'm sure gold is also just destroying all-time highs there. Forget gold, dude. It's hitting 4K, which is obvious. I mean, once it broke that region, 4K was in sight, plain sight. There's nothing else to it. Gold is a special case you can learn from right now because that trend, there's trends and there's differences within trends. There's so many intricacies that go into trend as well. Like there's a slow trend, there's a grinding up trend, there's a healthy trend, and there's a pro trend. There's a momentum trend. Like you could say I'm a trend trader, but it goes even deeper than that. And if you are new to trading and you watch just basic YouTube videos, you might think you're doing everything right, but it's a very deep game. And without the experience and without actually having in-time market experience, you won't know these things. Like this one, let's look at the Qs right now. Qs are just in a trend. It is heavily trending. And the difficulty for me, somebody with my personality, is I like to buy these pullbacks down here. I feel very comfortable buying here because I know there's other people interested in buying in these areas. And so I am comfortable knowing that other people are buying exactly where I'm looking to buy. Up here, you can buy this, but this is so momentumous. And you got to be more quick with this. You got to be more swift with this. You can't hold this for as long. You have to, because the pullbacks can come and they will come, and you don't know when they come. And that will just trigger your stops very quickly, more often than not, if you're not swift with it, and if you're not quick with it. And this trend could go on for the next, I don't know, 10 days, 20 days. It could keep going. And if you do buy it right here, right now, you might be like, oh, dude, look at me. I'm such a genius. And yes, you will be for the next 10, 20 days if that happens. But if you're not careful with managing your position, then you're gone. You're gone because that reversal is going to come and that's going to destroy you. All right, we have what's happening on the bonds. US bonds 10-year yields are at what, 4.16%. Pretty standard. I don't see this moving too much. This price point probably stays here. I wonder what the interest rate is on the last. Hold on, let's look into that. Oh, we have a lot of bank holidays this week as well. Oh, it was pretty good to not trade yesterday anyways. Aussie's on a holiday. That's why it's just consolidating and doing nothing. Chinese New Year holidays today. That's what's happening here. What else do we have? There's no major news on the docket. Again, Chinese New Year tomorrow as well. It's okay. We're not really involved in the Chinese markets, but the volume could be less because there's less Chinese capital pouring into the markets. We got the official rates tomorrow, 2.7. So New Zealand's looking to cut rates. That's probably why New Zealand keeps going lower. It's already priced in. I won't be surprised if on this news, if the rates are actually cut, the Fed actually cuts rates. Price probably makes a dips, makes makes a spike down, and then we get that reversal because price is already priced in. It's a known. It's everybody knows this. Rates are dropping on the New Zealand, and so that's just gonna dip the price of NZD. But once the news comes out and if it actually drops, then I think there is no more reason to sell. That the truth is going to be out. Everybody's already sold. That's aware of this information, and I don't see anybody else being a seller in that market, and so that could be a buying opportunity. So I will look into New Zealand CAD tomorrow to buy on this news. News is at 9 a.m. So that kind of fits with my timing. I'll probably be ready for that in the morning. So that should be good. I could trade NZD news tomorrow. Yeah, I look forward to that. Thursday, FOMC meeting. We have the USD claim, unemployment claims. What is the unemployment? Unemployment going up, and dollar keeps tanking for obvious reasons. What do we have? Powell is speaking. What's he gonna say? Yeah, I'm not too concerned with the unemployment rates. I think, I mean, you can see it in the dollar, gold, and all the other commodities. Silver is just on a tear. Gold is on a tear. So, you know, these unemployment, the economy in US doesn't seem too happy right now. That's all right. We can just sell the dollar. What else do we have? On Friday, we have the Aussie rates, and then CAD. All right, Friday should be interesting with the non-farm payroll on the dollar and then unemployment claims on CAD. So Friday should be interesting, which probably makes next week Monday more interesting. I don't like to get involved on Friday. It's just not enough of a time frame for me. I don't want to be getting into a position with the weekend. Weekend can cause gaps, and it's not too fun unless I'm already in a position that's already heavily in profits. I'll hold it over the week, but getting into new entries and new positions right before the week is ending, nah, I'm not a fan of that. You can easily be stopped out, which is what happened to me on that Aussie franc position on the more leveraged account, and it just stopped me out for no reason. And that is part of the game, right? So you just accept it, take it on the chin, and then keep going. We got unemployment change on CAD. We got dollar on the non-farm payroll. This should be interesting. So the early week is kind of slow. Tomorrow NZD report. I'll be interested in that. Let's see what happens on the NZD report. Um, what's happening on the cryptos? Oh, look at this. Mm, mm. That bounce on Ethereum, insane. Absolutely insane. What I've seen with cryptos, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin, is just you want to be buying these dips. You definitely want to be buying these dips. It's just the demand just seems to be there like crazy. And I'm not involved enough into this, but I think I should get more involved with the cryptos. Like, look at this. Exactly what I was saying last week. This is a heavy demand and it just blasts through the demand. A lot of buying, a lot of buying. Now, again, you don't want to be this sucker up here that buys up here. Again, you could, but that trade is very different from the trade down here. Buying down here versus buying up here. You're still in an uptrend, but it's a very different market. I'd probably wait for a pullback or maybe a base or something. Some kind of slowdown, some kind of just a little bit of an exhaustion, just so some sellers come in or some profit taking happens up here from the people that did buy down here. And then that should give us a good opportunity to get long here. I imagine this could be a good price region, a good demand zone to get involved. That may take some patience, but knowing cryptos, they move pretty fast. This might happen within the week. Ethereum, same thing. It was just volatile, but at the same time, you must respect this distribution area. And this distribution area is just, we're coming back into supply, so there should be some profit taking happening up here. There just has to be. I don't think many people hold through this, although that would be ideal. This trade idea here is absolutely wrong. It's gone. Market's moved on. And yeah, if I had put a buy limit here, that would be pretty crazy too, because I would be getting stopped out of this one. I would have had my stop right here and just get stopped out, and then the price moves, which is what we have to work on today, with what I have to work on, which is kind of becoming more precise with my entries. Holding isn't the issue here. Once I'm in the trade and actually letting the trade run for multiple hours is quite easy. What's not so simple is getting the precision on the entry, and that's where my leak is. And so that's what we solve today. Again, exits up here. There should be some profit taking. Trend is extremely bullish. Would I be surprised if there's another pro trend? Like this was a pro trend here. This whole thing here was a pro trend. And when crypto does this, and I was trading this entire time, up down here, all the way up here, and I was aiming for like 3.4, and then it beats 3.4, breaks above, comes retest the 3.4, and then just gets another $1,000 added to its value. It's absolutely insane. In like my almost 10 years of trading, it's this kind of market is new, and when I traded this, it gave me a new perspective. You don't get to see this kind of a move all the time, except gold right now. Gold is giving you that move. Look at this. This is what you call a pro trend. Absolute domination, complete destruction. Now the question is, where does it stop? And when it does stop, I doubt it has a heavy reversal. It probably does one of these bases, and this base was how long? From April all the way to August, September pretty much. That was almost a quarter. That was a quarter of a base. So gold did absolutely nothing for an entire quarter. And then the end of quarter, it's a sprint. It's doing its 100-meter race. And that's what it's doing right now. The question really is, where is the last buyer? When is the last sucker going to get in? And then that's when this market tanks. And then the question is, do I want to sell it? Do I want to be involved in the selling, or do I want to wait for that dip and get involved in the buying? That would be the interesting question. Right here, right now, there's no way I sell into this. You don't want to catch a falling knife. You're just going to hurt yourself. This is not a falling knife, but the opposite, I suppose. Let's say there's no gravity. And, well, I guess you don't want to be in front of a rocket because the rocket's going to destroy you. Let it stop. Let the fuel end. I imagine 4K. 4K should be that region that this price is magnetized to. Everybody's just, humans are humans. They love seeing whole numbers, the 000, and so 4K seems to be that natural target where I suppose a lot of people should have their targets here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price wicks to 4K and then makes a sharp downturn. Just for the short term though, overall there's no way you can sell gold. There's just no way. This is just way too strong. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, oil is doing something. We've been waiting for this for the past 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We've been waiting for this 3 weeks. Oil is finally doing something for us. This might be an entry. We've been waiting for this entry for 3 weeks now. So this could be interesting to get involved on the short on oil. I imagine news report on Friday, the unemployment claims are going to have a huge impact on this. Definitely a huge impact on this. Today is Tuesday, so we do have time. The question is this the sell entry? Is this the price I want to get involved at? And then look at silver as well. It's just following the pro trend with gold. Gold and silver are going hand in hand. Is this all time? Yeah. Silver absolutely crushing it at all-time highs. And it refuses to settle. So I'm sure there's a lot of money moving into this, but this has just gone absolutely parabolic. There's no way I buy this. No way. Selling could be interesting, but then again, you're selling into a heavy trend. There's just so much buying inside this. Do not want to be selling this whatsoever. This is those times where patience is really required. Like the train's left the station, you can't catch the buy on this. It's just such a risky buy at this point, even though the trend is up and you should be buying rather than selling. You can't sell it either because it's just the train is in full speed ahead, and you don't want to, stand in front of this train. You're just gonna get killed. And so in these kind of markets, you do nothing. Respect the market and do absolutely nothing. And if you want to buy this, it's a very short term. Go on the lower time frames. Get in, get out quickly. Don't hold it because you're gonna get killed. Yeah, this is a momentum trade. You can have a momentum trade, but momentum trading requires lower time frames, which requires more attention. And I don't have that attention to give to these markets. All right. So we got the cryptos that are just with a lot of momentum. Commodities are with a lot of momentum, namely silver and gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the SPX, the SPY is also just crushing it. So then what is weak? What is actually weak if all these, then dollar's definitely the weakest one because dollar's is absolutely dying. Euro pound selling off on this supply region, very obvious, very easy, but it's one of those they want to get involved with. Euro franc is on the stronger side. Aussie NZD. Oof, I might get involved with the longs here. Hold on a second. Is this the pullback? I'm very interested in Aussie NZD longs. I think Aussie has more strength to it relatively compared to NZD. But then again, it's risk on markets and prices reaching, it's within this heavy supply up here. I'm sure there has to be better opportunities out here in the market than Aussie NZD, so we'll look elsewhere. Dollar franc, just consolidating. Franc and dollar are not the most in play at the moment. CAD franc, same story probably. Yeah, same story. I imagine CAD franc waits for the news report on Friday, unemployment claims on Friday, and I think that gives a push to CAD, which gives a selling opportunity next week. So I really want to see that pullback on this. That pullback is going to give us a really good opportunity to sell. And this is trending quite hard, so I really don't mind selling this, playing the trend. That would be a very easy trade to take. Pound franc, it's at a demand. Obviously, it's bouncing, making that very obvious bounce. Might be interesting to go long here, but then again, I wonder if there's better opportunities in the market. This is quite choppy, especially with franc. Franc is confusing at the moment. New Zealand franc, again, nothing much. Overall downtrend. This probably just stalls, does nothing much. Aussie franc, again, nothing is happening. Just nothing is really happening. I don't want to play the francs. Francs look completely shit. Wow, look at this. Dollar yen, and look at that gap. So this is the reason I don't like getting involved in trades on late week. Because the weekend, you know, any news can break out. The world has like a million things going on, and randomly some war happens, and then the yen is just gonna gap on Monday. And if you're in this position, you're done. You're done. You know, your stop's not gonna be respected. You're gonna take a bigger loss than you anticipate, and that's never fun. It's just not fun. I'm interested in dollar yen longs maybe, but again, dollar doesn't seem to be the most in play strong currency. Oh wow, look at this. Look at franc. Frank yen absolute destruction with this gap. I don't think this gap gets filled. It probably goes higher. My target last, my target on franc yen for the last month, since the past like 5 weeks, I would say. I've been trying to buy it since this price here, and then I've been trying to buy it here. I just never really got that opportunity. And the target's been 194 on franc yen. We're at 189 right now. I think towards Christmas and December, price probably heads there. I am interested in this. Again, this whole thing, like I drew this way, and I would have been looking for that sell here. But if I had drawn it like that, then I'm looking for that buy. So this is the entry leak that I have in my system that I have to figure out. Until I actually figure that out, I'm not really interested in executing any new trades because it's not worth it. My system has leaks, I'm aware of it. Then why would I take any trades that just lead to free losses? And yeah, CAD yen, nothing much really. It's in a supply area. Don't really want to do anything with it. Pound yen, again, this is yen weakness. This has nothing to do with the other currencies. It's just yen weakness. I wonder what happened over the weekend. There has to be some sort of news that came out on the weekend that has caused this gap in the market, especially the yen. It's yen weakness, nothing else. Look at Aussie yen. Oh my goodness. NZD yen, Aussie yen. Look at this. Look at this. How brilliant is this? Literally hits that demand zone and then just goes crazy. Well, I'm already in Aussie franc, and that's the reason I did not take this trade. I didn't want to overexpose myself to Aussie too much. But this is yen weakness, definitely. Pound dollar just consolidating, same thing. Euro dollar, same story. There is no story. It's a butcher's market. Just don't play it. Nothing here. This is interesting. NZD dollar. Do I want to short this? I have been waiting for this for 2 weeks now. It is coming into the supply region that I anticipated. Again, the question is, do I really sell here? Look at Aussie dollar. Look at this, will you? Just how perfect this is. A 6-hour trade, potentially. I'm not in this. Again, I'm not in this because I'm already in Aussie franc. But this just goes to show like Aussie is with strength. You want to be long on Aussie right now because that's where the buying is. Investors are just piling in on the Aussie, especially with the risk on markets and the SPY. And then Euro Aussie, obviously it's on a downtrend because Aussie's strong. It's very obvious here. Nothing else to it. The question is, where's the selling opportunity and how do you go about selling? What's the timing on that? I'm not interested in getting involved anyways. It's okay, I just watch. Euro NZD, this sell-off. So now look at this. This is what you call a healthy trend. What you see on gold and silver right now, that's a pro trend where you're just getting up days on end, and you don't know when that's going to end. Those kind of trades, those kind of market conditions, you have to trade the lower time frames. You have to be swift with it. You have to be in and out. Whereas this is a healthy trend. It's going up and then it comes a little down because people are taking the profits. And then that gives you a little bit of a dip where you wait for that reversal again, and then you stack your position there. Healthy trend. This is more calm. This is easier to trade. I don't know too many traders that trade pro trends, momentum trends, because those are, at least for me, that's a hard trade. It's a very hard trade. These ones are easy trades. Like, it's moving that way, and you just hit the buy and you forget about it. You could come back 1 year later and just check on the position and it wouldn't matter. What else is here? Again, not involved on this dollar CAD. It's just mostly sideways. Pound CAD inside a supply, and that's the reason I'm not buying this. Even though the trend is up, I don't want to sell this. I would like to buy this, but I can't buy or sell. at this moment. EuroCAD, again, a more trickling uptrend. I wouldn't say this is a healthy trend. I would say this is more like a sideways to up trend. So it's like the market's kind of going sideways to up. And so the way you trade this kind of trend is very different from the way you trade a healthy trend, very different from the way you trade a pro trend or a momentum trend. And so, you might watch videos online that teach you how to trade. They're not going to teach you this stuff. The main thing is the market condition. Anybody can click buy and sell, but very few people understand market condition and what's actually happening. This one would have been a stop out if I was involved. Was I involved? I don't think so. And the reason for that is it's just bought from this demand on the daily. It's just shot up. And the reason I'm selling this is because overall the trend is down. And the way I looked at that was I just quantified it with this 50 SMA on the daily. Didn't happen though. If anything, I want to extend my target on Aussie CAD, but I'm going to respect my original target, 4.6R. That's pretty neat. I'll take it. Let's not get too greedy here. I'll probably get in again if the trend continues. But we're almost hitting targets. I'm just going to let it keep going. And this might be very common with a lot of traders where you're so close to target and now you start feeling these emotions because you feel like you're going to lose this money if you don't take your profit. But you must just hold it and trust your analysis, trust your process, because that's where the money is made. When you're in a good position, let the market tell you if you're in a good or a bad position. If you are in a wrong or a bad position, retail traders, most of them, they lose purely because they keep holding on to their losing bad trades, and that trade just extends itself and the losses grow and grow and grow. And that's why they lose. And then when they make a little bit of a winning trade, they're in a little bit of a profit, they're so excited to take their profits. And so their losses are always bigger than their wins. And that's why they can never make money. It's impossible. Because you just lose more every time you lose. And every time you make money, you're collecting pennies. But if you can reverse that mindset, which is not that simple. I mean, it is simple. It's not easy because it requires a lot of work. And that work isn't external. That work is within you, which requires you to be alone, which requires you to shut the fuck up and just be with yourself, to actually feel your emotions. If you feel like shit, then you feel like shit. You let yourself feel like shit. What does that even feel like? And once you become a master of your own emotions and your own internal self, then the markets is a joke. It becomes easy because the market is nothing but a reflection of you. It has nothing to do with you. The market does not care about you. And so when trading, that's the beauty of it. It reveals to you the human you are, all your flaws, all your weaknesses, all your strengths. It will reveal it because the market is nothing but a mirror to you. And when you master yourself, then the markets is easy. You master yourself, you master the markets, then the money is easy. But most people will not do that because they think everything is up and down, markets, oh, let's put some money in. And then voila, you have lost all your money and you have wasted your whole life. And trading is a quote-unquote scam. Because, yeah, obviously, to you it is a scam. Pound New Zealand, overall uptrend. I do like the buys up here. Price probably chops. Again, New Zealand news tomorrow. So I wait tomorrow. Pound New Zealand could be interesting to the long side. It is setting up. Daily close like that would be very interesting. I think tomorrow is an interesting day. I'd probably trade New Zealand tomorrow. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, nothing much else on the docket. New Zealand is really in sight. The news tomorrow should be the play here. And New Zealand longs, overall New Zealand is short, so I imagine spike action happening tomorrow. If not here, this pound New Zealand probably dips. Probably, where would it go? Not sure. I am unclear on this. I do want to see this 50 SMA catch up with price a little bit. Might chop, but this region here, I don't see price really breaking through, which is possible. This could be interesting. I don't want to get long here. I just don't want to. I've taken a trade. I've taken too many trades like this where I might take this trade now and then tomorrow morning wake up with a stop loss in my face. So it's not something I'm interested in right here, right now. Although this is shaping up maybe a few more days. Aussie is clearly stronger than NZD. So if anything, trade the Aussie. Like, yeah, Aussie dollar is hella strong. Buying Aussie dollar right now wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, not a bad idea to buy Aussie dollar. Probably tomorrow, maybe look for a pullback tomorrow on Aussie dollar on the 4 hour. And I might get involved tomorrow. Once my position on Aussie franc is over. Then again, Aussie is hitting those supply regions. So that is interesting. Anyways, that's it for the analysis on the markets right now for today. Let's move on to actual analysis of my previous data. Like, look at this pound Aussie. If this would load, will it? Why is the photo not loading? There we go. It's taking its sweet time, but it is loading. All right. So the issue here is I'm looking for those sells, and that's purely because of the daily bias with the downtrend. But price clearly does not do that. Same thing here with CAD yen. Price does not do that. Price, according to this, should be in a downtrend, but at the same time, it's a choppy market. And so I'm questioning myself right now why I even got involved in this. Yeah, we just got killed in the chop with this one. What else do we have? EuroCAD. EuroCAD here again, the demand wasn't big enough. If it was, then I would have taken this buy, and that would have been an easy buy. Like it probably hit target in a day, in 2 days. Clear winner. But then this was an issue with my zone creation here with the demand here. My demand was a little too tight. And then with Aussie franc, I was trying to trade this upside trend, which didn't really play out. What's the issue here? Again, you see this price action here, which is the same price action that occurred on, that's occurring right now. Which was it? Was it pound NZD? Yeah, pound NZD. Look at this. Look at this price action and look at this trade that we took before. It's very similar. Very, very similar. I basically took that buy here, right here, just like this. Took that buy, stop loss down here. Targets probably have to be the 3.4, 2.34 region, 2.34 region. That's a 1.31% move. That's not impossible for pound New Zealand dollar. That could take a week, but this target could be hit within a week. Yeah, pound NZD does have that momentum in it. Look at this. Like a 1% move in a week on pound NZD is not something unreasonable. So this could That's a 4-hour trade, actually. That's pretty decent. I'm not going to get involved. Again, not getting involved in this. There's just no way. But a 1%, 1.3% move, maybe a week and a half. Give it a week and a half. Definitely possible. Considering the news tomorrow on NZD, definitely possible within a week. Definitely possible. It could just spike exactly like this candle did here. You could even have it in a day. A 1.31% move in a day is extremely possible, especially on these more risk-on currencies. And the way price is chopping right here, it's building up momentum. It's going to burst, and that burst is going to come quick and heavy. And so that 1.31% does seem very reasonable. Anyways, what improvements do I make to the system here? What improvements? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this stream. Oh, yo, welcome back. I'm going to end the stream. I need to be silent, go into myself to actually do this process.